Thank you, everyone. Can you hear me okay? I think I lost my shoes, so that might be. I heard it was a casual event, so. Well, I forgot my flip-flops in the car, so I just decided. Well, thank you so much. I just wanted to, I'll just give some casual remarks here, but I just wanted to thank, first of all, Action Together for everything. You know, I think that it's so inspiring. If anything has inspired me the most over the last bit since November 2016 is seeing so many people step up, so many people say, what role can I play in getting our democracy on a better path? And the way I say it is that, you know, this energy that we have right here today, this energy that we have across this country right now, this isn't just about November 2018, this isn't just about 2020. You know, this needs to become the new baseline of civic engagement in our country across the country. The way I say it is that we can't assume that someone else will stand up and fight on our behalf. You know, we can't assume that someone will rise up and fight our fights for us. So that question is, what can we do? What impact do each and every one of us have to be able to get our country on a better path, to be the change that we want to see in this country? And that's what I am so inspired by. Because a lot of us here, I'm sure all of you would probably say this, is, you know, we're doing things we never thought that we'd be doing before. You know, we're going out and we're marching, we're making phone calls, probably made more phone calls to your members of Congress than you ever have before in your life. And a few of us have done a crazy thing and run for Congress. I can tell you it's crazy. It's crazy. My wife is right back there, Cammie. Brought her around today. She and I have two baby boys, a 3-year-old and a 1-year-old. And I always like to say it's a perfect time to run for Congress. It's great. It's great. We're not, you know, there's a reason why we came out here and lingered to have a beer by the water while we have the grandparents watching the kids back there. So we're gonna just take a little extra longer. So I'm gonna, you know, if my grandparents ever, my parents ever ask, just say my speech went really long. But here's what I'll say is that I love being here on the shore. We were here just a couple days ago because it was my wife's birthday. Just a couple days ago. Happy birthday. And it was, I actually did take a full day off from work and got to go and just spend it with the kids, with Cammie, down, crossed over into our district, down on the shore down there. And it was incredible. It really was. And it reminded me always how precious our shoreline is, how precious our natural resources here are. It reminds me of why I am so frustrated at my own representative who supported offshore drilling in the Atlantic Ocean, about 90 miles south of New Jersey, as if he doesn't understand that water flows around, that these challenges could impact our own shores. And I remember when I was there, you know, when I was there on the shore just a couple days ago, it made me think through how special it was for us to have this time together as a family, be able to enjoy this in the way that I enjoyed when I was a child with my parents, taking me to these same exact beaches, teaching me how to jump in there, not get scared of the waves. And now I'm walking my kid around as he just stood up for the very first time the other day, my 1-year-old. Actually, it's kind of more of a slow descent, but it was beautiful nonetheless. But it also reminded me that we haven't always had these types of opportunities on her birthday. That a couple years earlier, we celebrated her birthday via Skype because I was based out in Afghanistan. Volunteered to go there. I was lucky enough to have a wife that allowed me to not only volunteer to go to Afghanistan, but also postpone our wedding for a year in order to be able to go and serve this country. And it reminded me how difficult that decision was. what goes through my mind and the mind of Josh and the mind of veterans and others who have gone abroad, put themselves in harm's way. And it's something that reminds me that sometime in the next year we're going to have people who are going to be eligible to fight out in Afghanistan who were in diapers on September 11th. And it reminds me that in my lifetime, our country has fought 3 wars in Iraq, one every 12 years of my life. And now as a father of 2 baby boys, I worry about their future, their generation. What we're going to leave them, both in terms of climate change and the threats that we have, and we see right here that this district, that my district has all felt, all over New Jersey. From Superstorm Sandy, from all the other problems that we've encountered and endured over the years. And we watch this president take us out of the Paris Climate Agreement, open up offshore drilling, taking all these steps that I just never imagined that we would be moving backwards so quickly. And then as I thought about where else we were on my wife's birthday, it reminded me that 4 years ago, I was at the White House and I had promised her that I would take a day off or an afternoon off to be able to spend with her. And I remember that I told her I'd pick her up from her work at 6 p.m. and I'd take her out to a nice dinner. And I remember that morning being the morning, some of you heard me tell this story, where I got information that morning from my briefer telling me that there was about to be an imminent genocide in Iraq. ISIS tried to massacre tens of thousands of Yazidis, that they were fleeing up to the top of the mountain called Sinjar Mountain, and we thought that this might be the largest massacre of humans since World War II. And I remember spending all day there trying to put together a plan, working with some of the best and brightest minds of our government, trying to put together a plan to be able to show what the United States can do to step up and help save lives. And I remember being called into the Oval Office to greet the president, and I'm staring at my watch, looking at it tick past 6 o'clock, tick past 7 o'clock. And I'm there just envisioning my wife, wondering, where am I? And being in a situation where I can't actually tell her where I'm at or what I'm doing or what's happening in that country right now. I remember having to call her and tell her that I'm not going to make it. And that I had actually set up a surprise birthday dinner for her. I told her to go to a restaurant up the road because her friends were waiting for her. I was going to take her there myself. And it was so painful. It was so frustrating to have that. We've been through some experiences like that, and when I talked with her about running for Congress, when I talked with her about what I was on my mind about Tom McCarthy, I don't have to tell you too much about him. I'm sure you know. I mean, we all remember he was a lead author of that Trump healthcare repeal, the one that came up with the idea of gun and pre-existing condition protections. The only member of Congress from New Jersey to vote yes on that tax bill. And I felt compelled. I felt compelled to stand up and do something. As I told you, I never thought that I'd be running for Congress, but I also never thought that I'd have a congressman representing me who would take such dangerous actions. And I remember thinking through this and asking this question that I've always asked myself over the course of my career, which is, where can I be of most impact in helping my country? Where can I be of most impact to be able to get our country on a better path? And that answer started dawning on me that I'm not going to assume that someone else will stand up and fight on my behalf. So if I have a problem with Tom McCarthy, what am I going to do about it? And I remember talking to my wife, and I remember it being a tough conversation because, as I told you, I mean, at this time of the conversation, she was still pregnant, late in the pregnancy, and we had a lot of concerns about how that pregnancy was going. But through that all, I still felt that this was important. This was my way of trying to serve right now. that I'm the kind of dad I'm missing a lot of tucking them into bed right now. I'm not going to win any Father of the Year awards right now. But I recognize that maybe I'm not the kind of tucking them into bed kind of dad right now, but I'm the kind of fight for their future kind of dad. This is my way of trying to be a good dad. And I told her what I was thinking about doing this run for Congress. And I remember her asking me, "Are you sure about this? Is this really the way that you think you can do this?" And I said, I feel compelled. I think we have to do this. In the same way that she said, okay, for me to go to Afghanistan, the same way that she answered that phone when I was at the White House, stepping out from the Oval Office, and told her I can't make this dinner on your birthday, but I assure you it is because there's a lot that we need to do where I feel like I need to be here right now. And it's that same response that I got for her. So I just say thank you so much, Cammie, for always going through this with me. That it was a joint decision, as all important decisions in a marriage need to be. And what I promised her is that, I remember her saying, that we're going to do this, but, the moment it becomes about your ego or your ambition, it's over. I remember that, and it's true. I am here because what we're going through right now, this is the single most important election of our lifetime. This is the single most important election that my district has ever been a part of. We have 88 days to go. Not that I'm counting. 88 days, and what I promise you is I'm going to give this everything I got. I'm going to do everything I can. But I need your help too. I want each and every one of you to think of this year as the year of no regrets. To think of this year as you, and envision you waking up on November 7th, the day after Election Day, and I want you to be able to do everything you can so you can say to yourself, I did everything. I put everything on the line. And I know I did everything I humanly could to be able to get our country on the better path. And that's what all of us need to be able to do for the next 88 days. I'm going to give it everything I got, and I hope you stand there with me. Thank you so much for that.